Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ibrahim Muhammad, and I'm going to record here today and university project and video project about implementing vulnerability management policy in organizations at the University of Metropolitan State University. My instructor name is Alex Hepp, and class of Spring 2023 cyber operation is and cyber 442. And let me start. Good afternoon, and everyone. And before I further and continue, I want to add this disclaimer or here that this video project is about and course requirement and for educational demonstration purposes only. And I'm not liable as a student for any damage that could be caused using these demonstrations in other ways or for other purposes. Introduction. This video is about implementing a vulnerability management process in organizations. We'll show you step by step how to set up vulnerability management processes. In this video, we shall talk about the 5 steps of vulnerability management process: preparation, vulnerability check, defining remediation actions, and putting remediation actions into action, and re-scanning. After these 4 steps, we have to make sure to re-scan again. Did they work? We shall go over each of these steps, phases briefly, and give you important tips and best practices to help your organization or your business set up successfully vulnerability management process and how to demonstrate. In Kali Linux, we will have demonstration. Okay. The first step is getting ready. The first step is in a process of managing a vulnerability. Vulnerability is to get organized. This step includes making a plan for vulnerability management process and making a list of assets. You have to know your assets. Systems that need to be scanned, which systems need to be scanned. List of or roles of people involved or IT managers or members of the whose responsibility is this scanning are. They're important to know the full scope of the process, such as which systems will be checked, who will be in charge of running this process, and how often scans will be done. And make a list of assets. You make a list of your assets, all your assets. You have to know your assets. Knowing who you are is then you know where problems will come from. Getting clear jobs, clear job duties. Yeah, everyone's responsibility. So the project team will include the following. In this project, there could be money, there could be less, but there should be a project team that's responsible for this vulnerability scanning testing. Project manager is important. IT security is important, manager. IT operation manager, network engineer, application developer, compliance officer. All these 2 groups are important. Okay. And IT manager, the project manager organizes, manages, plans, organizes, and oversees the whole project. They make sure that the project is finished on time, within a budget, and meets the goals of the project. They also communicate with the people involved and manage the process management team. IT security manager manages the organization's information security program. They make rules, procedures, and systems to keep the organization's information and IT equipment safe. Also, they handle security issues, process risks, assess risks, and ensure the organization follows the procedures. Network manager designs, sets up, and takes care of the organization's computer networks. They make sure that network is secure and dependable and expanded. And they also solve the problems as they come up. The application developer develops and designs and maintains and creates the organization's software applications. They work closely with the people involved to understand what they need. People involved could be the clients, could be the stakeholders, and the environment. They make sure that applications are secure and dependable. And okay. Application officers complies. They make sure that regulations and organizational rules are followed and practiced as they were. The second step is check for vulnerability. This is we start in the team will start their job. Vulnerability scan is the process of finding weaknesses in systems and applications. Different tools like network map scanner or NetMap, Nmap, web application scanners like Barbecue. Vulnerability assessment scanners can be used to do vulnerability checks. The goal here is to find the weaknesses that could be used by hackers. So before hackers found it, the team will check regularly and find the vulnerabilities and give an overall understanding of how secure their company is. We'll talk about the following. Different kind of security assessment. Which assessment today? There's different ones. Which assessment is best? They pick the right tools and set up the right tools correctly. The plan action is to resolve the problem. Okay, maybe when they scan it, they found a problem. In this step, the vulnerability management method is finding out what requires to be done to fix the problem. Honest weaknesses have been found. It is important to determine the best way to deal with them. During this step, the risk of each vulnerability is evaluated and plan for fixing it is made. We will talk about the following. Ranking of vulnerabilities and weaknesses in order of importance based on how dangerous they are, giving each vulnerability to responsible part. The fourth step of vulnerability management process is remediation steps are put in place. In this step, the weaknesses found in the previous step are fixed by using a plan for fixing them that made in the previous step. There was a plan, so now it's the fixing time. It's important to make sure that the step is to fix the problem work and don't create new vulnerabilities. We'll talk about the following. Putting corrective steps into test. Okay, there was corrective steps. They will be tested in the testing environment. Keep an eye on a process of implementation. The process of implementation is most important, so they keep eye on. Okay, the last step. The last step for process of managing vulnerability is to rescan. After the fixes have been made, it's important to recheck the system to make sure that the vulnerability have been fixed. This step is very important to make sure that the vulnerability management method works and that all vulnerabilities have been fixed. In this step, we can say scanning systems again after fixing. After they fix it, they rescan it. And after they rescan, they compare the result of the second scan to the first scan to make sure that the weaknesses have been fixed. If they are not fixed, they fix it And after they fix it, they rescan it to make sure that the fixing has worked. And here, it is about a demonstration. It's an essential step in penetration testing and network security, and Kali Linux provides a wide range of scanning tools that you can use to scan for vulnerabilities and identify problems. Here in the step, how to scan, okay, identify the target. You identify the target, the device you are going to scan. So here, Nmap, also we scan the scripts and versions, and we save on a file. We use this IP address if it does not judge, because I'm using Kali and third party, not my computer. I will use TryHackMe and their device. You can also use tools like Net. This is another vulnerability checker. When we check, we don't want to use, this is wireless, and ironmonkey starts WLAN. I'm not going to do that today. Finally, honest, I identify the potential vulnerabilities. We can use Metasploit. I will use Metasploit a little bit if vulnerability is found. Okay. Before I go to a demonstration, I want to conclude the lecture. And okay, in conclusion, a key part of organizational security plan is to set up a process for managing vulnerabilities. By following these 5 steps in this video, you can make a good vulnerability management process that helps keep your organization safe. Remember that most important part of good vulnerability management process are preparation, vulnerability scanning, defining the remediation actions, putting remediation actions in place, and rescanning to make sure that your process has worked. Now, let me go to in this one, sorry, I rescan it and okay, make deal, saver, 442, sprint, CD. Let me stop and come back. Okay, welcome back. I was, and so now our scanning come back, and we use these tools. We use Nmap and script version. We save this file, and this IP address we're using here, .10.10.149.186, and the result is back. We found here that port is 139. Port 139 is open. Port 135 is open with Microsoft Windows RPC. Port 139 is open NetBIOS, SSN, Microsoft Windows NetBIOS. Port 455, all of them, they are TCP, are open, and it's running with Windows 7 Professional 706 Service Pack, which is almost 9 years. And release date expired. So this, and we also scan. We also use these tools. We also use script SMP for Naribal to MS1701, which is eternal blue vulnerability to WannaCry process that was previous years for worldwide vulnerability. So we did in this one, we know that these ports are open, and we try if we can go through some of them. Okay, host script resulted. SMB vulnerable to an eternal blue, which is MS17, vulnerable, remote code execution, vulnerability in process. So it is ID is this one, vulnerable, risk highway, very high. The critical remote code execution vulnerability existed. So for hackers, they may be used, for example, here we can search eternal blue. We try if we can go a little bit. We use the first one, first option, and make it white. Okay, and exploit Windows SMB MS-70. This is the one we see that was externally vulnerable. If we use option is, we see that use 0. Option is, we see that rhost is not set. We set rhost. Rhost is ten dot 149.186 run. Okay, so as we can see here, and I think time is running. So we can see here this, after we scan, we figure out that there is a remote, that this machine is vulnerable to MS, it's critical to MS-17. So I don't want to go further. I don't want to go further from here. So I want to conclude today here. And we add this demonstration and we scan it and we figure out vulnerabilities, and we have to fix this vulnerability. We have to use for a newer version to be better secure. We have to use a newer version. We have to fix these vulnerabilities before hackers see it and abuse your system. Thank you for watching. Good night.